Lin Moyu drove the damaged battleship and continued to sail in the starry sky. He changed direction, no longer heading towards the human star field, but towards the nearest galaxy to the Bronze Lizard clan. The star system of the Bronze Lizard clan glows with bronze light, and the stars are different from those of the human race. Shui Jilan looked at it from a distance. It's really strange how there are bronze stars. Qing Fei didn't understand either. It's indeed a bit weird. It's normal for them not to understand, but Lin Moyu knows it all. He said slowly, it's not that the star is weird, but that there is a formation outside the star. The bronze lizards are not good at formations, but there is one formation that is an exception. This is a formation inherited in their bloodline, and it is called the Bronze Light Formation. This formation can collect the light of stars and convert it into materials needed for the Copper Lizard tribe's cultivation. Shui Jilan and Qing Fei suddenly realized, no wonder. Qing Fei said, it seems that each race has its own characteristics. Lin Moyu sighed, indeed, every ethnic group has its own characteristics, but it's a pity that they are not smart enough. It's really not smart enough. Lin Moyu refers to the ancient times. At that time, their world origin had been merged into the big world, and they were already in the same boat as the big world. At that time, the humans in the big world were captains and crew members, and they were all passengers. As a result, these passengers wanted to kill the captain and the crew of 287. They simply don't understand that once the captain and crew die, the ship will sink, and even the passengers like them will not be able to escape, and they will all die. So Lin Moyu said they are not smart enough. Of course, there are not none who are smart, such as the butterfly tribe. It's just that this kind of intelligent race is too few in number. Advertisement. The battleship was getting closer and closer to the galaxy. Lin Moyu said softly, it's time for them to arrive. As the words fell, countless white lights suddenly lit up in the starry sky. Immediately afterwards, a star exploded into brilliant fireworks. Waves of powerful aura rose up, and the strong men of the Bronze Lizard tribe began to fight back, but in the blink of an eye these counterattacks were extinguished and had no effect. Before the battleship, the skeleton god general had already taken a step forward and came over. Lin Moyu once said that it is disrespectful to come and not reciprocate. Since you won't let me leave, then I won't leave. I will stay at your house and have a good time. By the time the battleship actually entered the galaxy, the battle was over. There is not a single bronze lizard left in this galaxy, not a single one alive. Lin Moyu either doesn't take action, or he will exterminate the entire clan and avoid future troubles forever. Lin Moyu felt some power of cause and effect, not much in quantity and very little in cause and effect. Sure enough, if you kill them all, the cause and effect will be less. As long as I kill it cleanly enough, there will be no cause and effect. The copper light array outside the star was destroyed, and the color of the star returned to its original state. Without the copper light array, the star is still a star, there is no difference. The warship passed by the resource planet. The bronze lizards did not need too many additional resources to practice. What they needed most were the materials converted from the copper light array. These resource stars have almost never been touched, and the image sources are very rich. Perhaps, these planets can be brought back. In the human race's plan, they will attack some small and medium-sized races one by one. In addition to taking revenge, they will also take away all their resources. In Xing Lao's prediction, if you want to survive the nirvana of the big world, you need the support of massive resources. Lin Moyu has no objection to this. Even if he knows that the great world cannot achieve nirvana, he may need these resources if he wants to repair the great world ruins. Advertisement. There is no such thing as too many resources, the more the better. Millions of skeleton god generals and an army of death dragon knights left the galaxy and headed towards another nearby galaxy. Lin Moyu dispatched a total of 100 million skeleton generals and 100 death dragon knights this time. With 1 million skeleton god generals and a team of death dragon knights as a combination, they attacked each galaxy of the Bronze Lizard clan. While the bronze lizards were still thinking about how to deal with Lin Moyu had already begun to fight back. In the coming days, the bronze lizard tribe will fall into a nightmare. In the center of the Copper Lizard clan, there is an extremely huge star. Outside the star, the copper light array continues to rotate, gathering the power of the star together to form a material called copper light essence. Copper light is the material needed for the Copper Lizard tribe's cultivation. Outside the copper light array, a palace shaped like a lizard floats in the starry sky. Angry roars came from the palace, turning into layers of shock waves and distorting the space. The star was affected and erupted countless flames, as if the star was roaring angrily. The voice of the Bronze Lizard King came from the Lizard Palace. Lin Moyu, this king is going to kill you and chop you into clay. The originally motionless lizard palace began to fly, accelerating rapidly and flying in the direction of Lin Moyu. 2 consecutive attempts to block Lin Moyu ended in failure. 100,000 troops and hundreds of gods died, resulting in heavy losses. What he didn't expect was that Lin Moyu not only didn't take the opportunity to leave, but started to fight back. An army of undead marched into various galaxies, leaving no chickens or dogs behind wherever they passed. In the past 2 days, he has received a lot of information. Dozens of galaxies have been destroyed, and hundreds of millions of people have died. His anger could no longer be described in words. The bronze lizards had all mobilized as if they were facing the greatest crisis. Even the gods who were practicing in seclusion interrupted their retreat and began to provide support to various galaxies. However, it is hard to say whether the support will be effective. Advertisement. After all, there are only a limited number of deities in the Bronze Lizard tribe. Facing the undead army, it feels like a drop in the bucket. Even if the peak gods are dispatched, if the number is not enough, it will be difficult to prevent the disaster from happening. The Bronze Lizard King knew that only by killing Lin Moyu could this be stopped. All the top gods died in the hands of Lin Moyu. Now the only one who can deal with Lin Moyu is himself. Although the Bronze Lizard King was angry, he did not lose his mind, and he did not forget to ask for help from the Pegasus tribe when taking action. He knew that if he failed to kill Lin Moyu, the Bronze Lizard clan would suffer extremely heavy losses. At this moment, if we can get help from the Tianma clan, we may be able to reduce some losses. The battleship is flying in the starry sky, and Lin Moyu is the only one in the battleship at this moment. Qing Fei, Shui Jilan, and some injured people were left on a resource star. An army of undead protects them, so safety is not a problem. He knew that he had made a big fuss, and it was estimated that the Bronze Lizard King would personally deal with him next. Facing the other side, Lin Moyu knew that he would have to go all out and would most likely not be able to take care of Wei Fei and others. To be on the safe side, keep them away from the fighting. The battleship deliberately stayed away from the galaxy and chose an empty starry sky. Lin Moyu also didn't want the battle to destroy the galaxy. He already regarded the resource stars in the galaxy as belonging to the human race, and he would not want to part with them if they were destroyed. It's time to come. Lin Moyu was sitting in the battleship, drinking tea slowly. He had been waiting for half a day. Calculating the time, the Bronze Lizard King should have arrived. Not long after his thoughts fell, a powerful aura rose from the distance. The breath is like the scorching sun, making it impossible to look directly at it. A bronze-colored lizard palace with a height of 100,000 meters flew rapidly from the starry sky. The Bronze Lizard King arrived, bringing his palace with him. Lin Moyu raised his eyebrows slightly. He hadn't seen the Bronze Lizard King yet, but he felt a hint of danger from this palace. This palace, which is made entirely of bronze, has a vast atmosphere, heavy with time. Lin Moyu concluded at a glance that this palace came from Chosen Tun. Lin Moyu had to be wary of the palace that had been preserved from ancient times to the present day. The ancient era was too strong. It was a glorious era that spread all over the world. It was not only the human race that was strong, but also all the alien races. At that time, this palace may not have been anything, but now, it is definitely a sacred artifact. However, Lin Moyu also found that many parts of the palace seemed to have been repaired. He immediately realized that this palace should have been on the battlefield and experienced a war. It was damaged during the war and later repaired. It can only be seen from the traces of repairs that the repair method is very clumsy. As a result, it is hard to say how much the palace's combat power is compared to what it was back then. At least in Lin Moyu's view, the threat has been greatly reduced. Now that we're here, we won't know until we fight whether it will work or not. King Bronze Lizard, I hope you won't disappoint me. Lin Moyu said softly, stood up slowly, walked out of the battleship, and took the battleship back. Originally he just wanted to leave, but later he fought back. Now he wants to practice with the Bronze Lizard King to test his strength. He wanted to see how far his combat power was, and whether he could fight against the other side without using the corpse to explode. Compared to the White Star in the Starfire clan, the Bronze Lizard King is bound to be stronger. Advertisement. That White Star does have the realm of the other side, but in fact it is like a target, ready for him to ravage. The Bronze Lizard King is different. The Bronze Lizard King will fight back, will run away if defeated, and will even fight for his life. This is the true other side. The Lizard Palace stopped 10,000 kilometers away. The Bronze Lizard King flew out of the palace and looked at Lin Moyu with murderous intent. He is about 10 meters tall, which is much taller than other Bronze Lizard tribe members, and he is extremely tall. The body is covered with thick bronze scales, emitting a light like gold. As you can imagine, the defense of these scales is amazing. The Bronze Lizard King did not deliberately cultivate his physical body, but his physical body was obviously stronger than that of humans of the same realm. The Bronze Lizard King in the other shore realm should have a divine body. Lin Moyu felt that in terms of physical body, the Copper Lizard was not weaker than him. You are Lin Moyu. The voice of the Bronze Lizard King contained anger, and at the same time, it was accompanied by strong murderous intent, covering Lin Moyu in layers. Lin Moyu's face was calm and clear. Are you the Bronze Lizard King? The Bronze Lizard King said in a deep voice, It has been 100,000 years, but our Bronze Lizard clan has never started a war with your human clan. Are you declaring war? Lin Moyu smiled and said, I've already done it, so what's the point of asking now? Hate will not disappear over time, it will only build up and get stronger. What's more, do you have the ability to clamor with my human race now? Back then, you were like a lost dog. You were lucky enough to survive. That may not be the case this time. The Bronze Lizard King laughed angrily, his voice getting colder and colder. Maybe it's not as good as your human race, but I have to kill you, that's enough. Lin Moyu laughed and said, What happens after you kill me? Aren't you afraid of human revenge? But I can show you the way. Kill me, and then run away with the whole clan, flee to the outside world, or seek asylum from the Demon Clan, so you may be able to escape. The Bronze Lizard King's expression suddenly changed. He had not considered this issue. What happens after killing Lin Moyu? What to do? The human race's revenge is not something they can bear. Advertisement. He feels some regret now. If he had decided to let Lin Moyu go a few days ago, maybe things wouldn't have gotten to this point. Lin Moyu smiled and said, But it's too late to say this now. Now you have only 2 ways to go. One is to kill me and then run away with the flag. 11. The second is to flee as a family now, but how far you can escape depends on your luck. What do you mean by 2 roads? This is basically one road. Lin Moyu has made it very clear that he will not let go of the Bronze Lizard clan, whether they kill him or not. The Bronze Lizard King is not smart, but he is not stupid either. You are looking for death. The Bronze Lizard King roared, raised his thick arm, and swung it down towards Lin Moyu. Behind him, a huge golden stick flew out and hit Lin Moyu with the movements of the Bronze Lizard King. A giant stick with a height of tens of thousands of meters appeared in the void and smashed down overwhelmingly. Wherever the stick passed, the galaxy shattered, and the space exploded like tofu. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. He lifted his steps, and his entire body disappeared in an instant, appearing in the starry sky 100,000 kilometers away. Where he was originally, a ball of colored mist flashed past. The bone hell remained in place and was shattered by the Bronze Lizard King's stick. While the bone hell was shattered, it completed its mission. The invisible mark fell on the Bronze Lizard King, and Lin Moyu completed the soul lock. 0. Please give me flowers. It's begun. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and the immortal flames exploded in the starry sky, and 5 skull thrones emerged from them. The 5 skeleton kings stood up together, and the throne turned into 5 bone swords. Original magic, strong soldiers. A strange aura rose up from Lin Moyu's body, and at this moment, the attack power of all the undead legions increased significantly. The Copper Lizard King's pupils shrank sharply, and he let out a strange cry, original spell. Advertisement. Lin Moyu ignored him. 500 drops of colorful water flew out, the power of 5 million beliefs burned fiercely, and the aura of the Skeleton King rose sharply. The Bronze Lizard King screamed again, water of all colors, power of faith, how could you have so much water of all colors? He has never obtained the water of 10,000 colors, but he knows the existence of the water of 10,000 colors. Even among powerful clans, the water of 10,000 colors is extremely precious. 0. Generally, when the Holy Lord uses it, it only takes 3 or 5 drops. The other shore realm is used for training and is not willing to be used in battle. There is no one like Lin Moyu, who drinks hundreds of drops at a time and doesn't take Wankai water seriously at all. Compared with the colorful water, burning a little power of faith is more acceptable to him. The aura of the Skeleton King has reached the level of half a step to the other side, and the power of the rules is already quite powerful. In this state, even the Bronze Lizard King has to take it seriously. Kill the god. The 5 Skeleton Kings moved in unison and swung the god-killing sword. The Bronze Lizard King's eyes suddenly tightened, a sense of danger rushed into his soul, and the power of rules exploded and enveloped his whole body. The sword light exploded on him, and the Bronze Lizard King suddenly let out a scream. The strong scales were shattered in the sword light, and a large number of wounds appeared on his body. However, Lin Moyu could tell that these wounds were just superficial injuries and were harmless. The Bronze Lizard King blocked the god of death and suffered some skin injuries, but his appearance was a bit miserable, with blood dripping all over his body. You can actually hurt me. The Bronze Lizard King said with disbelief in his tone that a person with the 2nd level of Divine Lord could actually hurt himself. If he hadn't experienced it himself, he would never have believed that such a thing would happen. The killing intent in his eyes became stronger, and he became more determined to kill Lin Moyu. If he didn't kill this kind of person now, he would never want to kill him again in the future. His hands formed a strange mark, the power of rules poured in, and invisible power enveloped the starry sky. The huge stick bloomed with bright golden light, 1 turned into 10, 10 turned into 100, and in the blink of an eye, thousands of identical sticks appeared in the starry sky. 10,000 sticks will break it. With a slight shout, 10,000 sticks appeared around Lin Moyu at the same time, hitting Wang from all directions. The stick blocked the space and turned the entire space into a swamp, making it difficult for Lin Moyu to move. Not only the space is blocked, but also the soul is locked. It seems that Lin Moyu has nowhere to escape. The wings of the undead spread out with a roar, instantly cutting off the soul lock. Then Lin Moyu stepped forward and disappeared into the starry sky. The stick fell and hit nothing. The space where Lin Moyu was originally located was smashed into mud, but there was no trace of Lin Moyu for a long time. The Bronze Lizard King was stunned on the spot. He couldn't believe that Lin Moyu could pass his attack. His own soul lock and space blockade were so easily cracked. Just when he was stunned, a huge fist appeared above his head. 1 punch of the ancient talisman, 10 drops of colorful water, and the power of Tian Wanfan's faith are bonuses. Lin Moyu also started the 2nd original spell, Gathering Strength. At this moment, Lin Moyu's realm reached the 9th level of deity, and huge soul power was injected into it. The 273 ancient talisman breaks through the boundary between the god and the other side with one punch, reaching the limit. The giant fist flew towards the Bronze Lizard King, and the ancient talisman on the fist shone, locking firmly on the Bronze Lizard King. The switch between offense and defense happened in an instant. The Bronze Lizard King's expression changed drastically. He stretched out his hand and a golden stick appeared in his hand, punching the ancient talisman. Golden Lizard breaks the sky. The entire body of the Bronze Lizard King was dazzling, the power of the other shore realm exploded in full force, the starry sky was shattered layer upon layer, and the power was extremely astonishing. The power of the rules surged crazily, and the stick magnified hundreds and thousands of times in an instant, like a galaxy being smashed down on the head. In comparison, a punch from an ancient talisman is like an ant shaking a tree, not worth mentioning. Lin Moyu's expression did not change. The soul-killing sword appeared above his head, injecting all the soul power into it, as well as hundreds of drops of colorful water and the power of millions of beliefs. Advertisement. The soul-killing sword bloomed with a hazy light, and then disappeared in an instant as it flashed across the starry sky. The soul-killing sword strikes first, faster, and more powerful. Before the stick was struck, the soul of the Bronze Lizard King was suddenly attacked. The soul-killing sword tore apart the Bronze Lizard King's soul defense and pierced the soul. Ah! The Bronze Lizard King burst out with an earth-shattering scream, and the aura in his body became extremely chaotic. The power of rules exploded in the starry sky, like disorderly fireworks, beautiful but rotten. The technique was interrupted, and the strength of the stick was greatly weakened. The ancient talisman's punch seemed weak, but it penetrated the shadow of the stick and landed heavily on the Bronze Lizard King. There was another scream, and the scales of the Bronze Lizard King were broken into pieces, and flesh and blood flew everywhere. The Bronze Lizard King was punched away by the ancient talisman. His speed was comparable to the speed of light, and he flew 1,000,000 kilometers away in the blink of an eye. At this moment, countless invisible white mist surged out of Lin Moyu's head, and a dragon's roar that only Lin Moyu could hear came out of the white mist. Explosive luck. Luck turns into a dragon. Lin Moyu raised his luck to the extreme, and at the same time an invisible force fell on the Bronze Lizard King. Luck value 45, green. Lin Moyu snorted coldly, and the Bronze Lizard King's luck dropped rapidly, instantly dropping to 20, turning into gray luck. The Bronze Lizard King, whose soul, body, and body were both traumatized internally and externally, suddenly felt as if he was missing something, but he couldn't tell what exactly was missing. Lin Moyu snapped his fingers and shouted softly, "Explode!" Boom! The Bronze Lizard King seemed to hear an explosion. The explosion came from the dark world, and the specific location could not be determined. He felt as if he was being attacked by an invisible force, but where this force came from, he couldn't understand. The scales shattered silently, and huge wounds appeared on the body. Blood spurted out from the wounds and scattered into the starry sky. Then intense pain came. The pain came from the soul. The Bronze Lizard King realized that the damage shown on his body actually originated from his soul. The explosion does not affect the body, but the soul. Advertisement. The soul was seriously injured and eventually reflected on the body. He was extremely horrified. What kind of method is this? How can it be so terrible? Whether it was the soul-killing sword or the ancient talisman punch, they were all within the scope of his understanding. But this last attack, the Bronze Lizard King couldn't understand. It was too weird. There was panic in his heart, a trace of fear in his eyes, and fear in the eyes he looked at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was slightly disappointed at this moment. He used all his methods and launched 3 rounds of attacks at the same time. The connection between the front and back was perfect. However, even so, he could not kill the Bronze Lizard King, but only severely damaged him. It's really hard to kill in the other shore realm. His soul is protected by a magic weapon, which offsets most of the attacks of the soul-killing sword. The scales of the flesh body are very powerful and can offset most of the attacks of Gui Feng. There is only explosive luck, which cannot be defended. It is a relatively big threat to him. It's a pity that my level is not enough. In addition to the luck gap between the two, the explosive luck technique also depends on the level gap between the two. Why? The difference between my realm and his is too big. The damage of the explosive luck technique must be at least half, or even more. Through this time, Lin Moyu realized some shortcomings. The technique is a bit inferior to corpse explosion. The corpse material can ignore the level difference of 0. Even if he is only in the super god realm, as long as there is a corpse from the other realm and he can complete the lock, he can blow up other realms. The explosive luck technique obviously doesn't work. Lin Moyu realized that his magic was actually the real heaven-defying existence, and even the inheritance of the ancient heavenly lord was not as good as his own magic. The Bronze Lizard King suddenly turned around and flew towards his palace. He wants to escape. At this moment, he was seriously injured, blood was spilled in the starry sky, and his soul was seriously injured. Although he was not dead, his combat strength was less than 30% of his heyday. Injury to the soul is the most troublesome, especially serious injuries. The Bronze Lizard King doesn't know if he can recover to his peak. He hates and fears Lin Moyu. If he attacks Lin Moyu again, he will definitely die. As a person from the other side, he cherishes his life. Advertisement. So his first reaction was not to fight for Lin Moyu, but to run away. As long as you escape into your own palace, you will be safe. He is only 1,000,000 kilometers away from the palace. To him, this distance is just one step away. Lin Moyu had already predicted, want to escape? You have no chance. Countless white lights flashed in the starry sky, and a skeleton as white as jade appeared in the starry sky. The number of skeletons made the Bronze Lizard King's scalp numb. Tens of millions? Far more than that, at least over 100 million. At a glance, the entire starry sky was filled with skeletons, completely covering the palace. What can be seen is nothing but skeletons. The undead army has completely surrounded the Bronze Lizard King, with countless layers inside and outside. Lin Moyu's idea is very simple, it will kill you if it consumes you. And it doesn't take too long. Once his soul power recovers, he can use the soul-killing sword again. If one sword is not enough, then use more swords. It's impossible to trap this king to death. The Bronze Lizard King roared angrily and swung his stick to smash out a passage. The palace also activated at this moment, knocking away the skeleton and flying towards the Bronze Lizard King. The palace is not only a flying magic weapon, but also an extremely powerful combat magic weapon. In ancient times, it was also all-powerful. The formation outside the palace shone brightly, shooting out countless golden thunderbolts and turning itself into a sea of thunder. Legions of Death Dragon Knights appeared in the starry sky and launched a fierce attack on the palace, while also preventing the palace from joining the Bronze Lizard King. The Death Dragon Knight is not afraid of death and blocks the palace at all costs. The Bronze Lizard King can kill tens of thousands of skeleton god generals with each strike. The skeleton god generals continue to collapse and then quickly regenerate without retreating. Advertisement. The Bronze Lizard King and his palace are not far apart, but with the undead army blocking them, this distance becomes a natural chasm. The Skeleton King came to the palace. The 10,000-meter-tall Skeleton King swung his bone sword and struck it on the palace. The palace formation flashed, blocking the Skeleton King's attack. Lin Moyu probably judged the palace's combat power. Without anyone controlling it, the palace was stronger than the God Lord, but weaker than the other side like Bronze Lizard Cho. It can be regarded as the weakest other side realm. If compared, it is comparable to Zhu Qiwu's battleship. It is much worse than the human race's god of war fortress. As time passed by, under the continuous infusion of the World Tree, the soul power had been partially restored in just 1 minute. Hundreds of drops of colorful water flew away, and at the same time, millions of pieces of faith burned. The army of the undead does not care about the cost, and the same goes for Lin Moyu. The soul-killing sword flashed a hazy luster and disappeared into the starry sky the next second. The Bronze Lizard King's screams resounded through the starry sky again, and his soul was hit hard again. But he is still not dead, and the vitality of the other side realm is extremely powerful. Lin Moyu didn't know what magic weapon was in the soul of the Bronze Lizard King, but judging from the feedback from the soul-killing sword was counterattacked, and the attack effect this time was not good. It is not difficult to kill the Bronze Lizard King, but the difficulty lies in Lin Moyu not wanting to use his trump card. With my current strength, it is still a bit difficult to kill the other side. But it's not really impossible to kill, it just takes a lot of time or a small price to pay. Lin Moyu's eyes revealed murderous intent, and a strange aura spread from his body. Original spell, Gather. The original spell was activated again, and this time it was even crazier. Lin Moyu gathered the power of the undead army to improve himself regardless of the cost. He broke through to the 9th level of God in the blink of an eye, and then continued to charge upward. Finally, he felt that he had reached the other side. Advertisement. It was a wonderful feeling. Lin Moyu felt as if he understood everything and realized everything. He realized that this was the opportunity for the Divine Lord to break through to the other side. Countless top gods have been trapped in the realm of gods for life because they failed to seize this opportunity. To put it in layman's terms, we haven't realized it yet. Lin Moyu tries hard to remember this feeling and not to forget it. The next second, his body was broken and his soul collapsed. The concentration exceeds the limit and the soul cannot bear it. The Bronze Lizard King was stunned again. In his induction, Lin Moyu's breath suddenly disappeared. He didn't know what happened, but he suddenly disappeared. But less than half a second later, Lin Moyu's breath appeared again. Because he was surrounded by the undead army, he couldn't see what happened to Lin Moyu. But he was sure that something must have happened. Lin Moyu was reborn in the purple light, and all his states were restored to their peak. Lin Moyu locked the Bronze Lizard King again and used gathering power for the 3rd time. The realm quickly rose to the 9th level of the god, the soul-killing sword appeared above the head, and the colorful water and the power of faith were ready. The Bronze Lizard King suddenly felt a creepy feeling, and warnings kept coming from his soul. The soul on the other side is aware of danger. He realizes that danger is coming, and it is a fatal danger. The Bronze Lizard King's eyes changed, and something the size of a fist appeared in his eyes. This thing looks like gold and copper, and there seems to be liquid flowing inside. The Bronze Lizard King threw the gold-like copper thing into his mouth, and bit it into pieces with his sharp teeth. The liquid inside flows out and falls into the body. The injuries on the Bronze Lizard King's body recovered at an astonishing speed, and he was back to his original state in an instant. Immediately afterwards, his body shape began to skyrocket, and his aura also skyrocketed with it. Its power rose sharply, surpassing its heyday and heading towards a higher level. Advertisement. The size of the Bronze Lizard King reached 1,000 meters. Behind him, a bronze sun slowly rose, and the power of rules stirred in the starry sky. Under the bright sun, the skeleton generals melted like ice and snow. Lin Moyu's pupils narrowed, a world of rules, respect. Lin Moyu recognized at a glance that this great sun is the world of rules. The Bronze Lizard King didn't know what method he used, but he forcibly promoted himself to the Holy Lord. However, Lin Moyu also felt that the power of the Bronze Lizard King was unstable, and it was obvious that this method would not last long. But the Holy Lord is the Holy Lord, even if it can only last for a few minutes, it is enough to kill him. Under the power of the rules world, the undead army quickly collapsed. The angry voice of the Bronze Lizard King sounded, "Lin Moyu, this king is going to kill you." Lin Moyu snorted coldly, "Let you kill me." The soul-killing sword flashed and attacked, and the Bronze Lizard King just snorted. The soul-killing sword returned in vain, and Lin Moyu felt that the power of the rules protected the soul of the Bronze Lizard King. The Bronze Lizard King swung his stick and smashed it down. Before the stick could reach it, the starry sky was completely shattered. The sun shrouded the sky, the sticks broke through the sky, and the undead army completely collapsed. Without the obstruction of the undead army, the Bronze Lizard King locked onto Lin Moyu and swung his stick again. A rune on Lin Moyu's head was activated, and then Lin Moyu disappeared. The 3-light symbol is activated, and Lin Moyu moves away at a speed of 27 million kilometers per second. The Bronze Lizard King used a secret method to ascend to the level of Holy Lord. In this state, Lin Moyu was no match for the people at all. Desperately? Lin Moyu is not that stupid. Avoiding his edge is the right choice. Lin Moyu knows very well that there must be a price to pay for this kind of going. When his secret technique disappears, you can just kill him and get back to him. The Bronze Lizard King roared, "Where are you running away?" His body seemed to catch up. Advertisement. The sun shrouded behind him, shooting down thousands of rays of light, one of which was firmly locked on Lin Moyu. No matter how fast Lin Moyu is, this light will not be interrupted. Even if Lin Moyu uses the wings of the undead, he cannot cut them off. Lin Moyu was rushing forward, while the Bronze Lizard King was chasing after him frantically. Then let's see who is faster. Lin Moyu didn't panic at all. With the 3-light talisman on his body, the Holy Lord might not be able to beat him in terms of speed. The palace of King Bronze Lizard finally broke out of the siege and followed closely in the direction of 143 Bronze Lizard. Lin Moyu is very fast, and the Bronze Lizard King is not slow either. However, the more the Bronze Lizard King chased, the more shocked he became. Lin Moyu's speed was too fast, and he was no slower than himself. You know, he is the Holy Lord now. A little guy of the 2nd level of the Divine Lord, his speed is comparable to that of the Holy Lord. At first, he thought Lin Moyu had used some secret method, but later he discovered that this was not the case at all. He has strong combat power and fast speed. He can fight if he wants to, and no one can stop him if he wants to move away. This is a monster. The shock in the heart of the Bronze Lizard King became more and more serious. Unknowingly, the anger that originally wanted to kill Lin Moyu was fading, and reason was returning. He knew his situation. The holy state could not be maintained for long, and once the state passed, he would be weak for a long time. The Bronze Lizard King is not a fool. He knows that if he cannot kill Lin Moyu, he will eventually die. After chasing for several minutes, he knew that he could not catch up with Lin Moyu. He suddenly stopped, turned around and left. The palace had already flown over, and the Bronze Lizard King got into the palace and drove away. After someone took control of the palace, the speed suddenly became very fast. Escaped? It's not that easy. Lin Moyu also quickly chased after him. He had already beaten him to this point. How could he let the Bronze Lizard King go? The principle of don't chase the enemy when you are poor does not work here. Lin Moyu believes in another saying. Cut the grass without eradicating the root, but the spring breeze will blow it and it will grow again. The palace of the Bronze Lizard King was very fast, and Lin Moyu tried his best to keep up. This palace was once a very powerful war fortress. Although it was damaged, the speed did not seem to have a big impact. The palace passed through galaxies, and Lin Moyu could feel that the aura of the Bronze Lizard King was weakening. When the time comes for the secret technique, the sequelae also appear. The state of the Bronze Lizard King took a turn for the worse, and he quickly fell from the position of Holy Lord, and finally fell to the edge of the Other Shore realm, only one step away from falling to the Other Shore realm. Lin Moyu is absolutely sure to kill the Bronze Lizard King in this state. The palace did not fly towards the center of the Bronze Lizard clan, but flew outside the star field. Lin Moyu naturally knew the Bronze Lizard King's intentions and knew that this was the right choice. The Bronze Lizard King plans to completely abandon the Bronze Lizard clan to save his own life. In fact, as long as he is alive, the Bronze clan will not truly perish. Lin Moyu will not let him go, even to the ends of the earth. He will chase him to the end. Lin Moyu didn't believe that he could keep escaping. The aura of the Bronze Lizard King continued to weaken. As long as he keeps chasing him, he will have no chance to recover, his condition will only get worse and worse, and he will be caught up sooner or later. The starry sky faded away, and half a day later, the two of them were about to leave the star domain of the Bronze Lizard clan. Suddenly there was a huge aura from the front, and a team was flying towards them from the distance. This team glowed with pure white light, and above the team, the giant White House with a height of 300,000 to 400,000 meters was transformed. Their wings spread out on the back of the white horse, dancing slowly in the starry sky. Pegasus Clan. Lin Moyu squinted his eyes. It seems that he was underestimated. He did not run away without purpose, but went to find reinforcements. Advertisement. He knew about the alliance between the Bronze Lizard tribe and the Tianma tribe early on. It seemed that the Bronze Lizard King had notified the Pegasus tribe before taking action. Now that he was defeated, he went to seek help from the Pegasus tribe. To be able to cultivate to the other side realm, it is obvious that the Bronze Lizard King is not stupid and knows to leave behind him. From the aura of the Tianma clan team, Lin Moyu felt the aura of the other side. He knew that the leader of the Tianma clan was coming. With him here, if you want to kill the Bronze Lizard King again, the difficulty will be greatly increased. But now, Lin Moyu felt a little unwilling to give up. If you use your trump card, you can naturally kill them all. But dealing with two other shore realms is a bit too wasteful. Boy Lin, are you in a bit of trouble? A voice suddenly sounded in his ears. Lin Moyu immediately smiled and said, Senior Sha, you are finally willing to come out. Saint Killer smiled and said, Don't try to deceive me, I don't believe you knew I was coming early in the morning. Lin Moyu really didn't know that although his soul was sharp, the rules of killing the Holy Lord meant it was invisible. Whether it is breath, body shape, or soul fluctuations, they can be perfectly hidden. Unless he takes action, it will be difficult for even him to discover. And among the several saints, the only one who would call himself Lin Xiaozi is Killing Saint. Lin Moyu admitted generously, You hide it so well, how could the juniors find out? Saint Killer said strangely, How did you know I was here long ago? Lin Moyu smiled and said, I don't know, I just guessed it. Saint Killer snorted, You brat, you are really cheating on me. Lin Moyu said, It's not a scam. It's just that the senior who killed me is so wise, I won't do it rashly, I must observe it first, right? Advertisement. So I'll take a bold guess. You should have arrived a long time ago. I just want to see if I can do anything. You have been seeing this junior for a long time and there is nothing you can do, so you came out to see if you can help this junior. Killing the Holy Lord seemed to be somewhat useful, that's enough for you to say, Okay, do you need me to help you kill him now? Lin Moyu said, It's the best, then I'll have to kill the senior. It's a small matter. The voice of Killing Saint Lord has faded away. Lin Moyu knew that he had taken action. In the interplay of light and shadow, a very faint figure seemed to appear outside the palace, and then sneaked in. Where there are shadows, stealth can be completed by killing the Holy Lord. This is the strongest place to kill the Holy Lord. The method of assassination is unparalleled. Just a few seconds later, a scream came from the palace, and the rapidly flying palace suddenly stopped. Then the Killing Saint flew out with a corpse. The Bronze Lizard King was already dead, and a big hole was blown out of his head. It was obvious that the Killing Saint would kill him with one blow. At this moment, the Tianma clan is still tens of millions of kilometers away from them. Killing the Holy Lord threw the body of the Bronze Lizard King to Lin Moyu and turned towards the Pegasus tribe. Behind him, clouds of black mist rose up, in stark contrast to the white light of the Pegasus clan. The aura of the Killing Saint is very light. He is obviously a saint, but his appearance is similar to that of a god. His ability to hide breath far exceeds that of other saints. The collision between the black energy and the white light of the Pegasus clan was not as earth-shattering as imagined. The black energy seeped into the white light silently. Immediately afterwards, panicked sounds came from the Tianma clan team. The advancing team suddenly stopped, then began to retreat and quickly left. Lin Moyu knew that it was the other side clan leader of the Tianma clan who sensed the presence of the Killing Lord. Facing the Holy Lord, if he didn't run away, would he still be waiting for death? Sha Shengzuan did not pursue him, but returned to Lin Moyu. They are a bunch of cowards who don't even have the courage to fight back. Advertisement. Lin Moyu said with a smile, they are not stupid. Faced with a strong person who cannot be defeated, of course they choose to escape. The Killing Saint roared, what about you? Lin Moyu said, I am relatively stupid and like to fight against strong people, unless I really can't do it. The Killing Saint looked Lin Moyu up and down. It can be seen that a second-level divine being is brave enough to challenge the other shore realm alone. Lin Moyu did not refute. His boldness is based on his strength. He is very clear about his own strength. And he has a trump card, so there is no need to worry about safety issues. Killing Saint asked, what are you going to do next? I want to go out and kill the seniors and make another trip. Notify the seniors in the clan to bring back all the resources of the Bronze Lizard clan. As he spoke, Lin Moyu waved his hand to put away the body of the Bronze Lizard King. The corpse of the other side realm, this is a good weapon material. It can be used to explode corpses, or it can be used to resurrect the dead and turn him into a thug from the other side. The Killing Saint frowned. Although the Bronze Lizard, Nuo Zhaohao, clan is not a powerful clan, there are more than 500 galaxies. Do you plan to kill them all? Lin Moyu sensed it and said, almost a third of them have been killed. It is estimated that by the time the seniors arrive, half of them will be killed. He spoke in a calm tone, not taking the killing seriously at all. 1/3 has been killed, which means nearly 200 galaxies have been killed. In terms of the number of the Bronze Lizards, 1/3 is equivalent to tens of billions of people. Lin Moyu seemed to have done something trivial. Lin Moyu's murderous intention was so serious that even the Killing Saint was a little frightened. He knows very well that killing people like nothing is not terrible. What is truly terrible is a being like Lin Moyu who kills people like nothing. Fortunately, Lin Moyu is from the human race, otherwise he would have had a headache. The Killing Saint couldn't help but said, from now on, I might as well give my name to you. Lin Moyu smiled and said, don't say that, I'm not interested in killing people, I'm more interested in saving people. The Saint Killer left and went back to shake people. Before leaving, he looked at Lin Moyu with a very contemptuous look for 3 seconds. What that means is that even if you say you don't like killing people, you won't even believe it. But Lin Moyu knew very well that he was telling the truth. In his eyes, on the surface he was killing people, but in reality he was saving people and saving the entire human race. There are too many causes and effects in the big world. If these alien races are not killed, there will be little hope for the big world. Otherwise, we will die together. If the human race wants to live, they can only kill them first to cut off the cause and effect. This move by the Bronze Lizard clan also confirmed Lin Moyu's guess. When he kills all the people and eradicates the roots, he also cuts off the cause and effect. The consequences he suffered were very few and could even be ignored. The weak cause and effect was still caused by him not killing cleanly enough. So now he has changed his strategy. He has divided a part of his team to intercept and kill those who escaped, truly killing them cleanly and cutting off the cause and effect. Lin Moyu has been exploring how to resolve the crisis facing the world. The big world is a difficult problem to solve, but he has no choice. In the starry sky, the Golden Lizard Palace of the Bronze Lizard King stopped there alone. Once the Bronze Lizard King dies, it becomes ownerless. Lin Moyu flew inside and tried to take it away. After all, it is a war fortress left over from ancient times. Even if it cannot be used by me, at least the materials themselves are of high value. Just like exploring a secret realm, the skeleton god will quickly explore the entire palace and form a complete map. The interior of the Golden Lizard Palace is very large, with countless rooms and various areas. Advertisement. However, Lin Moyu couldn't appreciate the living facilities of the Bronze Lizard tribe. Lin Moyu went directly to the center of the palace. From the furnishings here, it can be seen that this is the ground boat where the Bronze Lizard King usually stays. Although the Bronze Lizard King died, he left a strong aura here. The bronze lizards had a fishy smell, which was very unpleasant. Lin Moyu waved his hand and rolled the law to sweep away all the smell. All traces of the Bronze Lizard King were erased in an instant. Here, there is a brass-colored hill, about 10 meters high, with a golden lizard carved on the top. The appearance is exactly the same as the palace. It is a miniature version of the palace, and this is the control core of the palace. The soul penetrates into it and quickly leaves its mark. Pieces of information were passed on, and everything about the palace appeared in Lin Moyu's mind. Lin Moyu looked strange. Lizard God War Palace, a human creation. The message passed clearly told Lin Moyu that this palace was built by humans. When the human race discovered, the world of the bronze lizards, the world of the bronze lizards was being invaded by another world. The bronze lizards were retreating steadily and were in danger. Later, the human race took action and ended the war. Not only did they take back the world of the bronze lizards, they also didn't let go of the world that invaded the bronze lizards. At that time, the human race gave the bronze lizard tribe a living space and built a lizard god war palace for them. As a result, the bronze lizard tribe gained hundreds of thousands of years of peace, and the race began to grow stronger. But I didn't expect that during the invasion of the Black Blood Realm, the bronze lizards would betray the human race. They used the lizard god war palace built by the humans to massacre a large number of human cultivators. 100,000 years ago, they attacked the human race again and caused great harm to the human race. Lin Moyu's eyes became colder and colder. Such a stupid and ungrateful race really does not deserve to live in the world of Ain. Your strength is exhausted. Let's go on the road with peace of mind. Lin Moyu left a soul mark on the control core and took the entire lizard god war palace into his hands. Advertisement. The hill carrying the control core roared, and then a talisman formation appeared on it. Talisman array? Lin Moyu was a little curious. Runes were unique to the human race, and other races would not use runes at all. And this talisman array is obviously from the human race. Lin Moyu studied for a while and probably figured out the function of the talisman array. The talisman array is actually a portal, and as long as it is unlocked correctly, you can enter it. The talisman array obviously led to the inside of the hill, and Lin Moyu murmured to himself, "What's behind it?" This level of talisman formation is not difficult for Lin Moyu. Following the prompts from the talisman array, he quickly drew a strange rune and then pushed it towards the talisman array. Runes are like keys, opening the runes. The talisman array rotated and quickly turned into a portal, and Lin Moyu strode into it. There is a small space inside the hill, and there is a control core inside, which is the control core of the human race. Lin Moyu understood that this was the back door that the human race had left for themselves. If one day, the lizard god war palace falls into the hands of the human race, they can use this back door to completely control the war palace. In other words, this is the real core of control of the lizard god war palace. Lin Moyu reached out and touched the core, and a large amount of information came in instantly. The message is also accompanied by a strong suction force, like a child waiting to be fed and needs to be fed by Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't think twice and directly sent a large amount of soul power in while checking the information transmitted. The amount of information is huge, but it is much inferior to inheritance. Lin Moyu can accept it without any pressure. This information records the past of the lizard god war palace. Wherever it has been, what it has done, and what happened inside the war palace are all recorded. Lin Moyu saw the complete life of the lizard god war palace. In ancient times, there were records of how it fought, how it betrayed the human race, and how it was maimed. Advertisement. Including how they entered human territory and massacred human beings in various galaxies 100,000 years ago, there are also extremely clear records. Lin Moyu's face was very ugly. The scenes were so bloody and the corpses were broken into pieces. Lin Moyu was filled with murderous intent. They held banquets in the palace and shared human flesh. Compared to what the bronze lizards had done, Lin Moyu felt that just killing them was too cheap. Compared with the records in the human database, what was presented at this time was 100 times, 1,000 times more bloody. This is a cruel and murderous race, and there is no chance of death. From the ancient scenes, Lin Moyu saw something that interested him. In the hall of the Lizard God War Palace, the leader of the Bronze Lizard clan was discussing something with others. This man was wearing a black robe and his appearance could not be clearly seen. Lin Moyu could tell that he was from Hades Sea. The strong man from the Black Blood world seemed to have said something, and the Bronze Lizard clan's eyes changed, becoming more cruel and bloody. Lin Moyu frowned. This situation seems to be somewhat similar to those starry sky beasts at that time. At that time, the powerful men of the Black Blood realm controlled the great Emperor's starry sky beast. But the bronze lizards are not giant beasts in the sky. Can intelligent races also be controlled? Lin Moyu is more wary of the Black Blood world. The threat of the Black Blood realm has not disappeared. The influence from that year has continued to this day, and the cause and effect between the two has not been disconnected. Lin Moyu has a feeling that one day in the future, he may face the Black Blood world. Therefore, the more you know about them, the better. Lin Moyu began to carefully look at the core records and analyze them in detail. In the Bronze Lizard Star territory, disasters are happening one after another. Countless skeletons rushed into their starry sky, leaving no survivors wherever they passed. There are only a few people who can escape. To the Bronze Lizard tribe, it's like a natural disaster. For the Bronze Lizard tribe, this is an unimaginable disaster, a catastrophe of annihilation. The undead army descends from the stars with death. The Bronze Lizards counterattacked, were defeated, and then fled. But surrounded by the undead army, not many can really jump out. Even if you can escape from this galaxy, you can't escape from the star field where the Bronze Lizard clan is. Under the vision of the undead, every soul is so clear, like a beacon in the darkness, pointing to death. In the past few days, the blood of the Bronze Lizard clan has been sprinkled across the starry sky, and countless dead souls are roaring in the starry sky. Just like the human race back then, the screams that shook the soul made people go crazy. Finally, someone escaped and spread the news to the outside world. All races then received the news, and some races wanted to send people over to check, but found that the star field was blocked. Saint Killer came first with the human army and sealed the space, not allowing anyone to enter. The aura of the Holy Lord spread in the starry sky, and not only the killing saint, but also the war saint of the human race came. In addition to the Holy Lord, 10 people came to the other side, and the power of the rules was frightening. With the 2 great saints and 10 other people standing guard, ordinary races dare not approach them at all. Everyone knows that the Bronze Lizard clan is finished. After several years of peace, the human race once again mobilized the people. This made the small clan who were still lucky to have no idea at all. The human race has really begun to take revenge for what happened 100,000 years ago. Those who have taken action against the human race must find ways to protect themselves now. Forming an alliance may be a way, but it is not safe. Advertisement. The Bronze Lizard tribe is the best example. They formed an alliance with the Pegasus tribe and then wooed other races. But now, the Bronze Lizard clan is about to be wiped out because the Horse clan doesn't even dare to fart. The feeling of self-danger spread among the clans in the world. The human race will not care so much. A large number of gods in the Temple of War are carrying magic weapons and are collecting resources. The method of collecting resources is simple and crude, that is, packing up the planets and taking them away one after another, even the stars. Since the plan was formulated, the human race has made complete preparations. The weapon refiners have been working non-stop day and night to refine a large number of magic weapons that can contain the planet. And just like when the 3 tribes were wiped out last time, while taking away the planet, they also left a large number of broken stones in the starry sky, creating the illusion that the galaxy was destroyed. Revenge is one, and gathering resources is another. The fortress of the god of war moves forward in the starry sky. The Lord of War stands on the top of the fortress, his eyes scanning the starry sky. This time we were a little anxious and exceeded our plan. He had already formulated a full year plan with Tian Qingzuan. In the plan, it would take more than 200 years before he would take action against the Bronze Lizard clan. They will attack a race every once in a while, and it will take almost 100 years to destroy the weakest races. Then it will be the turn of intermediate races like the Bronze Lizards. Lin Moyu's sudden move disrupted their plan. The Saint Killer didn't care at all. I think this is good. Jian Qingzuan glanced at him, then tell me what's good about it. Killing Saint said, what's so good about it? It's not important, anyway. I think it's pretty good. Jian Qingzuan was a little speechless. It was obvious that Killing Saint Zun didn't know at all. It's not that Killer Saint is stupid, he just doesn't like to think. What he prefers to do is stab people with a knife. The Saint of Killing said, you have always been in charge of this kind of thing. I only care about killing people. But you can talk to Xiao Yulin. He, like you, thinks more complicatedly. Advertisement. I really don't understand. Since you made a plan, why didn't you tell Xiao Yulin? Then there was an accident, and it was said that the announcement disrupted your plans. If you had told me, this wouldn't have happened. Xia Xingzuan had a very good impression of Lin Moyu, and he always favored Lin Moyu in his words. Jian Qingzuan didn't want to talk too much to this guy who only knew how to fight and kill, so he casually said, you won't understand even if I tell you. The Saint of Killing said, how can I understand if you don't tell me? Jian Qingzuan realized that any more words to this guy would be a waste of time. He was thinking in his mind, how did this guy become a saint? Is it true that there is no need to use your brain when practicing cultivation? The god of war fortress flew to the edge of the lizard god's war palace and did not enter. There are a large number of undead legions stationed around the lizard god war palace, and it is obvious that no one is allowed to approach. After waiting for half a day, there was sudden movement in the lizard god war palace, and the originally silent formation began to operate again. The war saint looked in his eyes and showed some doubts. This formation looks so much like the formation of the human race. Is the palace of the Bronze Lizard King related to our human race? The Killing Saint said, the Bronze Lizard clan and we are feuding. How come their palace has something to do with us? Are you wrong? The war saint rolled his eyes at him, shut up. The Saint Killer also rolled his eyes at him, but still kept his mouth shut obediently. Lin Moyu appeared at the entrance of the palace, looking at the war saint and the Killer Saint. As soon as his footsteps moved, he appeared in front of them. I have met these two seniors. 0, please give me flowers. Lord Killer waved his hand. There's no need to be so polite. I brought the person you want. What's going on with the Bronze Lizard clan now? Lin Moyu said, it's already halfway through. There are 324 people who have escaped so far, 12 of whom are gods. Advertisement. I have tightened my defenses, and no one should be able to escape. Lin Moyu said, took out the star map, projected it, and made marks in it. This result is astonishing. Lin Moyu is here, but his undead army has already killed half of the Bronze Lizards. And as the war progressed, the territory of the Bronze Lizards became smaller and smaller, and the encirclement became tighter. Next, the Bronze Lizard tribe has no chance. Jian Qingzuan asked, what do you want us to do? Lin Moyu shook his head. It's basically not necessary, unless they still have the other side. Several people know very well that the Bronze Lizard clan should not have the other side realm. If they did, they would have moved on by now. The war saint said, I see that the palace of the Bronze Lizard King seems to have the shadow of a human race. Lin Moyu said, Senior, I have a keen eye. This lizard god war palace is indeed from the human race. But it's not the human race of today, but the human race of my ancient times. The Killing Saint let out a sigh and stared at the war saint. You were actually fooled. What does it mean to be fooled? War Saint Lord ignored him. No wonder, now it is under your control. Lin Moyu nodded. The human race once left a secret door. Through the real core, I have completely controlled this palace, and I also know some things that happened in ancient times. As he spoke, Lin Moyu handed a jade tablet to Zhan Xingzuan, which contained the information he got from the palace of the lizard god. The amount of information is quite large. After taking a look at it, Zhan Xingzuan said in a deep voice, "Your information is very important. It seems that you got something by mistake this time." Lin Moyu said with a smile, "The juniors know that they must have planned the plans set by the seniors. But the juniors feel that plans are not as fast as changes, and sometimes making mistakes is not a bad thing. I think after this time, some young people will no longer find alliances useful. In order to protect themselves, they will probably find other ways." Zhan Xingzuan raised his eyebrows and said, "Tell me what you think." Lin Moyu said, "In my opinion, each tribe should be well prepared. Alliances still need to be formed, but after the alliance is completed, they will move closer to several powerful tribes to seek asylum. At the same time, they will let some tribesmen leave and go outside the territory to stay alive for a long time." Lin Moyu talked about his opinions and speculations. Even if several small tribes form an alliance, they are still far from being able to compete with today's human race. And it has become obvious that the human race wants to take action on the small tribe as the beginning of revenge. Whether they are willing to admit it or not, today's human race is far from being able to compete with these small races, even if they all form an alliance and join forces. 100,000 years gave the human race enough time to develop. With amazing resilience, the human race almost returned to its heyday. After all, the human race is the original master of this world and is different from other races. The human race is not something they can fight against. After forming an alliance, they will still rely on a few Xing tribes. Use the power of the powerful clan to fight against the revenge of the human race. Several powerful tribes will definitely help them. They are as powerful as the Demon Tribe and the Golden Eagle Tribe. They also know very well that it is difficult to compete with the human tribe on their own. If they don't unite, they will be defeated by the human race sooner or later. As for whether there will be another 900 invasion like the 100,000 years ago, and once again invade the hinterland of the human race, it depends on how they choose. At the same time, in order to retain some escape routes, those small tribes will probably separate some of their tribesmen to go outside the territory, which can be regarded as leaving fire. For any race, the continuation of the race is the first priority. Lin Moyu can probably guess that the human race's plan is nothing more than boiling frogs in warm water, but it actually makes no sense. The big world is not a closed world. As long as the human race takes action one or two more times and destroys one or two small tribes, the two tribe will react. The previous layout functions are actually only useful the first few times. It's better to take advantage of this opportunity to eliminate one or two middle-class races. Any race that exists will eventually become a threat, so kill them if you can. Zhan Xingzuan valued Lin Moyu's opinion and did not reject it outright. Advertisement. But what he will do next has nothing to do with Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu left with his newly acquired Lizard God War Palace. After Lin Moyu left, Zhan Xingzuan asked, "How is it? Do you want to do it or not?" Zhan Xingzuan looked at him and said, "Your hands are itchy." Lord Killer grinned, showing his white teeth. "If I take action, I can get rid of that old horse in the Tianma clan." Zhan Xingzuan thought, it's not impossible for him. There are thousands of gods dispatched from the war temple this time, which is sufficient. The God of War Fortress has also been opened, and all the necessary war supplies have been brought. If you want to take action against the Tianma clan, it would be a good opportunity. Killing Sank said, "If you can, then don't hesitate. Boy Lin is right, just do it quickly. Besides, Boy Lin wiped out an entire clan by himself, are we not as good as him?" Zhan Xingzuan was a little speechless. Can it be compared like this? The Saint of Killing said, "I don't care, if it's too much, I'll treat it as your agreement." Qing Fei and Shui Jilan have been waiting a little anxiously these days. They were a little worried about Lin Moyu. After all, Lin Moyu was facing the Bronze Lizard King, the leader of the clan and more powerful than the god. That level has gone beyond their understanding. However, looking at the undead army protecting them, and the white light shrouding the undead army, the two of them felt a little relieved. The undead army's lack of movement meant that Lin Moyu was fine. Suddenly, a golden light appeared in the distance, and then a huge palace flew over. The two of them were shocked. The lizard god's war palace looked like a lizard, which was almost the same as the appearance of the Bronze Lizard clan. Shui Jilan is a little panicked. Yuan? Qing Fei was relatively calm. It should be fine, there are skeletons here. She felt that if something happened, the skeletons could protect her. Advertisement. If even the skeleton is useless, there is no need for him to struggle and he can just wait for death. Under the nervous gaze of the two people, the lizard god war palace stopped above them, and Lin Moyu's voice came from inside. Two junior sisters, come in. At this time, several skeletons picked up the unconscious injured person and flew up first. When they heard Lin Moyu's voice, their hearts dropped. Flying into the lizard god's war palace, Shui Jilan transformed into a curious baby. Senior brother Lin, is this a battleship of the Bronze Lizard tribe? Lin Moyu said, this is the palace of the Bronze Lizard King, called the Lizard God War Palace. Lizard God War Palace. Qing Fei looked at the palace with surprise in her eyes. The palace of the Bronze Lizard King fell into the hands of Lin Moyu. Needless to say, the Bronze Lizard King was dead, and even its palace became Lin Moyu's trophy. Qing Fei couldn't help but ask, what about the Bronze Lizard tribe? Lin Moyu said, in 2 days, there will no longer be a Tongxi clan in the world. Qing Fei's eyes suddenly lit up. Senior brother Lin actually wiped out the Bronze Lizard clan. Shui Jilan also seemed a little excited. Senior brother Lin destroyed an entire clan by himself. If this news spreads, everyone will probably regard senior brother Lin as their idol. Lin Moyu has no interest in idols or anything like that. However, if he can get more power of belief, Lin Moyu would welcome himself to become an idol. These days, the power of his faith has begun to increase. It means that the layout of the Faith Tower has begun. The human race is not slow in setting up the Faith Tower and transferring the human race members. These things are already done with ease. The Lizard God War Palace sailed in the starry sky and returned to the human race. Its speed was much faster than Lin Moyu's damaged battleship, and it could return to the human star domain in less than a few days. Before leaving, Lin Moyu went to see Zhang Qingzuan again and handed over some injured people to him. As for this trip to the Starfire clan, Lin Moyu told him that he would give details after returning to the Divine City. A few days later, when Lin Moyu left the Bronze Lizard clan's territory, the battle on the Bronze Lizard clan's side finally ended. The whole clan was exterminated, and from then on, the Bronze Lizard clan was eliminated from the big world. Advertisement. After destroying the Bronze Lizard clan and taking away all the resources, the human race did not stop. The fortress of the God of War led the gods to sneak from the deep space to the Tianma clan. Lin Moyu discovered this and couldn't help but smile knowingly. The War Saint finally adopted his suggestion. He knew that the Enma clan was also finished. The Pegasus clan, like the Bronze Lizard clan, has trampled on the human race in the past and will also be on the road to death. The Lizard God War Palace sailed rapidly in the starry sky, getting closer and closer to the human star field. Until they felt the breath of the human emperor network, Shui Jilan and Wei Fei breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. Lin Moyu smiled and said, you two junior sisters, please report to junior brother Chu and senior brother Zhuang that you are safe. They will probably be anxious. The two of them nodded happily. They had escaped from death this time, and they had seen many unimaginable things. Lin Moyu connected to Renhuang Network and received a large amount of information immediately. Lord Tiancheng, when you have time, please tell me what happened in the Cave of Space. 0.4 Wu Xingzuan, Girl Wu is a little worried about you. When you have enough fun outside, you will come back and report that you are safe when you have time. Juqiwu, where did that brat go? Come back safely, don't die outside, the circle won't have time to take care of you. Zhuangbai, Brother Lin, are you safe? Everyone showed concern, which made Lin Moyu feel warm. Lin Moyu reported safety through the Human Emperor Network and returned to the Divine City at the nearest teleportation array. First teleport to the place closest to the Divine City, and then return in the Lizard God War Palace. Now Lin Moyu has special privileges. He no longer has to wait for the monthly worship transfer and can return to the Divine City freely. Together with Qing Fei, they also took advantage of it and received a lot of privileges. The Divine City was temporarily closed. Lin Moyu used his privileges to enter the port star and teleport to the outer area. There, he met Zhuangbai and Chu Xiong, who had been waiting for many days. In the outer area, Lin Moyu had a good drink with Zhuangbi, Chu Xiong, and others, and then left. As a couple of four, a little separation is better than a newlywed. You and I are in love. Lin Moyu is very sensible and doesn't act like a light bulb. Lin Moyu quickly traveled through the starry sky step by step while thinking about this experience. This time he entered the Xingho tribe to save people, and later entered the territory of the Tongxi tribe. After experiencing successive battles, he not only verified his combat power, but also changed the plan of the human race. For Lin Moyu, this trip has been very rewarding. Not only did he gain world crystallization, but the most important thing was that he got closer to the mysterious master. The arrangements that were arranged millions of years ago became reality, and Lin Moyu deeply felt the terror of the master. No one who has ever come into contact with Tianzuan can arrange it from ancient times to the present. Huanwu Tianzuan and Holy Talisman Tianzuan, they just left their inheritance and waited for the destined person. Unlike the mysterious owner, who was sure that he would go. Of course, there is also a relationship with destiny, but the river of destiny that destiny sees must be vague. Lin Moyu has been exposed to the long river of destiny and knows this very well. The river of destiny only gives a vague outline. The future is constantly changing, and what you see may not necessarily happen. 02. He didn't know how the mysterious owner judged that he would definitely go. Lin Moyu can only be in awe of this. Finally, after many days, Lin Moyu returned to the Divine City again. Advertisement. Lord Tianqing was already waiting in the central temple, along with Lord Hao and Xiaowu. When Xiaowu saw Lin Moyu, she jumped over and hung directly on Lin Moyu. Master, you are finally back. As Xiaowu's owner, he has an inseparable relationship with Xiaowu and has a special feeling. The two have been separated for a long time, and this feeling will not fade at all. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "You are not a weapon spirit now, you are already a human race, don't be like this." Xiaowu said oh and got off Lin Moyu obediently. During this time, she was with Wu Xingzuan, who taught her a lot. Xiaowu has started practicing again. She has very good qualifications and can practice very quickly. After all, in ancient times, Xiaowu listened to Tianzuan's sermons again and again, and the subtle accumulation of them was extremely profound. You can practice now, and it is normal for you to fly to the sky every day. Tianxingzuan smiled and said, "I'm finally back. It seems that I have experienced a lot in this space cave." Lin Moyu's eyes were downcast. Yes, behind the hole in space is the Starfire clan. Xingho tribe? Tianxingzuan was slightly surprised. Isn't this race extinct long ago? At this time, Xiaowu interrupted, "The stars are immortal and the sparks will last forever." The old master said that the Spark clan is difficult to kill. Even Huanwu Tianzuan said so, and Lin Moyu felt that the mysterious master's methods were extraordinary. Even Huanwu Tianzuan found the Xingho tribe difficult to kill, but he used them like pawns to manipulate them. Lin Moyu explained, the Xingho tribe was not actually extinct, but was sealed and a curse was planted. The mysterious master from ancient times used the Spark tribe to set up a trap and left some things until now. Lin Moyu talked about his experience and did not hide much from Tianxingzuan and Wu Xingzuan. Advertisement. In the big world, they are like their own teachers, taking care of themselves everywhere. Just like several teachers in the small world, they are regarded as relatives by Lin Moyu. But Lin Moyu didn't tell them that the road was irreparable. Generations of human saints have been working hard to repair the divine road. Now suddenly telling them that the divine road is irreparable will have an impact on the faith they have held on to for half their lives. Lin Moyu knows this very well, so there is no need to say it. But it's not that I won't say it, I just can't do it now or later. Eventually, sooner or later, you have to say something, let them know, but it requires skill and time. The two saints were deep in thought. They were both guessing the identity of the mysterious master. From the large amount of ancient information they obtained, the identity of the mysterious master also appeared in many places. Film. Coupled with Lin Moyu's experience, it seems that many decorations are indeed the work of the mysterious owner. When Xiao Wu saw the two of them thinking, she also frowned. I seem to have heard the old master say that there is indeed a mysterious master. Lin Moyu looked over and said something. Xiao Wu frowned. Let Xiao Wu think about it. The central temple became quiet. Not only Lin Moyu, but also Tianqingzhen and Heishengzhen were also waiting for Xiao Wu's answer. Xiao Wu thought for a long time, and suddenly her eyes lit up. Xiao Wu remembered. At that time, the old master said that a master was arranging something, as if to save the world. But the old master felt that the world was hopeless. However, the old master did not dare to oppose that master, and finally chose to believe part of that master. The old master called Destiny and asked Destiny to check the future, and then decided to keep me here. The Destiny god was the busiest at that time. He was running east and west, and people were looking for him everywhere. Xiao Wu actually didn't know much, but it could be seen from her words that the status of the mysterious master was higher than that of several deities. Advertisement. The Destiny god of Wutian is doing something. I need help. But the mysterious master gave instructions, even orders. In that era, Tianzuan should be the supreme existence. Lin Moyu really can't figure out the identity of the mysterious owner. It can't be Tao Zun. If there is Tao Zun in the big world, Black Blood Desai is nothing at all. At that level, every step difference is a difference between heaven and earth. 677. It is hard to say whether all the supreme beings in the big world can defeat one heavenly lord if they are tied together. Wu Xingzuan said, "What do you think about whether the mysterious master's plan can really save the world?" Lin Moyu didn't think too much and said directly, "I believe what he said." Wu Xingzuan did not ask Lin Moyu the reason. This answer was enough. Lin Moyu chose to believe in the mysterious master, while Saint Hao chose to believe in Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu has his own ideas. Only by experiencing the mysterious master's layout and meeting the mysterious master can he know how terrifying the mysterious master is. The level he stood on was obviously higher than Tianzuan, and he could see further. At that time, his words seemed to reveal another meaning, which made Lin Moyu feel that the world must be saved. Not for others, but for ourselves. The world must also be saved. Lin Moyu then talked about his views on the big world and discussed the next countermeasures of the human race. Lin Moyu expressed his hope that nothing should be hidden from him. He knew that the saints did not want him to participate too much and thus affect him. But there are some things, Lin Moyu feels that he still needs to participate. After the three of them discussed for a while, Lin Moyu left the central temple and went to look for Yin Lao. His battleship needs to be repaired, and there is also a lizard god war officer waiting for Dan to repair it.